Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed receives His Excellency the Mayor of Finance and Business District of London. In order to provide food security and diversify sources of income, the Minister of Housing signs 2 land utilization contracts for pisciculture. His Excellency the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth says poultry, eggs and dairy projects is worth more than 200 million Omani Riyals and will cover a great deal of the Sultan's needs. The State Council discusses the education strategy and emphasizes on the importance of improving teachers, their training and qualifications. And the Royal Air Force of Oman celebrates the graduation of new batch of pilots, air officers and limited service officers. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, today received in his cabinet His Excellency Lord Alderman Alan Yarrow, Mayor of Finance and Business District of London of the United Kingdom, where His Highness welcomed him and his delegation. They viewed good relations between the two countries and the desire to enhance them to serve joint interests of both sides, besides strengthening cooperation in economic, commercial and investment fields. They viewed situations in international arena and economic developments being witnessed by countries of the world. His Highness expressed that the Sultanate is proceeding in its growth programs by virtue of royal directives of His Majesty the Sultan. His Excellency Lord Alderman Alan Yarrow expressed his delight and that of his delegation of the visit to the Sultanate, which he hopes that it will enhance joint cooperation efforts between the two countries. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In order to provide food security and diversify sources of income, the Ministry of Housing signed 2 land utilization contracts for pisciculture with 2 companies and submitted the final license for the 3rd one. The total cost of the 2 contracts amounted to 110 million Omani Riyals. The agreements were signed by His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Mohammed Al-Shabibi, Minister of Housing, who said that there are other projects to be established for the same purpose in cooperation with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth. His Excellency Dr. Fuad bin Jafar Al-Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, said that he hoped these big investments will increase actively the production of fish in the Sultanate. The first agreement is to establish pisciculture projects for shrimps at Qurun areas in Ja'lan Bani Bu Hassan on an area of 500 hectares at a cost of 65 million Omani Riyals, while the second agreement was on the establishment of a pisciculture project for sfilah or abalone and grouper fish in the Niaba of Sherbatat in the Wilayat of Shlim and Al-Haniyat Islands on the area of 30 hectares at a cost of 43 million Omani Riyals. During the signing ceremony, the final operation license was submitted for the implementation of grouper fish in the Sour Industrial Estate in the governorates of South Sharqiyya. His Excellency Dr. Fuad bin Jafar Al-Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, announced in a statement to the Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television that the Ministry is on an endeavour to put royal directives of His Majesty into practical implementation and said that the Ministry has a long list of projects amounting to 19 companies which initially met all requirements to implement projects and hope that the sector will be a main source of the national economy and a good step of diversifying the economy. He announced that the projects all are within food security, such as poultry and egg production, projects for producing dairy and red meat, in addition to other investments in the pisciculture. The State Council discussed in a session held today proposals made by the Education Committee on the review of educational stages in the Sultanate. A number of members stressed the significance of setting up a unified strategy for education and qualifying teachers. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfouz al-Mandari, Chairman of the Council. The discussions also centered on the need to focus on technical and occupational education and pay more attention to the preliminary stages of the educational system. Change orders of awarded projects by the tender board were organized by the legal controls that came in a statement to Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television by His Excellency Dr. Khalid bin Salim Al-Saidi, Secretary General of the State Council. He hoped that in the future tender comes in a complete form and studied by a specialized house of expertise will reduce the number of change orders and become noticeable that already started to happen during the few previous years. But he said that it is inevitable because during the implementation, many developments would evolve. The Royal Air Force of Oman, RAFO, celebrated the graduation of pilots, air officers, cadets, and limited service officers in a ceremony held at the military parade grounds at Ghala Air Base and the Sultan Qaboos Air Academy today under the auspices of General Sultan bin Mohammed al-Nu'mani, Minister of Royal Office, I beg your pardon. The ceremony included a military parade performed by the graduates. Then the chief guest pinned the aviation wings on the graduated pilots. He also handed over the sword of honor to the top of the graduating batch. After that, the graduates chanted the RAFO anthem and proclaimed thrice, "Long live His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces." Building strategies and policies through studies of the last and upcoming 25 years were the center of discussion of the National Seminar on Social Indication held in Muscat. The two-day event is being organized by the Research Council. It dealt with social changes and challenges and ways to direct researchers to build and support policies and programs in the Sultanate. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Wilayat of Duqm in the Governorate of Al-Wusta witnesses a number of developments and service projects. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Additional works to complete some development projects worth 53.8 million Oman Riyals topped tenders awarded by the tender board in the meeting today, which was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Rashid bin Al-Safi Al-Huraybi, Chairman of the tender board. Most important awarded tenders were additional works of dual carriage road, Bid Sur, and related to adding a third lane, in addition to change track of some parts of the road. Additional works for the project of constructing Wadi Sahtan Road in the Wilayat of Rustaq. Additional work for the project of building interchange bridges on Salala Muscat Road with Al-Rabat Street, doubling Al-Rabat Street from Ad-Dahriz roundabout in the city of Salala. Additional works of the projects of Madinah Al-Haq, Nasheb Road and some internal roads in the Wilayat of Salala and Taqa, as well as other projects. The tender board also discussed a number of vital and services projects in various governorates of the Sultanate and took appropriate decisions towards them. The Technical Committee concerned with urban planning approved 23 housing sites in various governorates of the Sultanate, and it also approved a new mechanism for distributing lands to avoid some problems that took place in a number of sites, such as some lands are located in water-flowing valleys, or affected by other conditions, or the roads could be narrow. That was announced to the Sultan of Oman Radio and Television by His Excellency Engineer Saif bin Amr al-Shakhsi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Housing, who also announced that there's a proposal of granting the plot's recipient only 1 year to build the plot, or it will be withdrawn for another beneficiary who is in need to build on that plot. He also said 23 sites were approved, including some in the Governorate of Muscat. He added that services are not practical to be laid down for all sites that was distributed by the Ministry of Housing, since most of these sites are not built owned by citizens, and services in those places will be like a waste. The Undersecretary of the Ministry of Housing also revealed that 2 new sites are available in the areas of Al-Jifnain and Al-Flaj to meet demands for land plots in the Governorate of Muscat. He added that Al-Jifnain site will be plotted and will consist of residential, commercial and industrial, and will provide a total number of 10,000 residential plots. In addition to some pockets can be added in different directions if are needed. In Al-Flaj there will be some housing sites to meet plot demands of South Batna and parts of the Governorate of Muscat. The Ministry of Sports Affairs announced the winning initiatives in Initiator Award for Youth Club. It came during the press conference held by the Award Supervising Committee in City Citizens Hotel in Muscat. The award seeks to contribute in developing the youth through adopting creative programs and projects and enhancing the citizenship concept, in addition to improving related concepts of youth work. The winners expressed their happiness on these initiatives, which were in the fields of social, sports, health and culture. Developing abilities of the supervising members affiliated to the state's financial and administrative audit institution was on the top topic in the workshop of data collection tools. The workshop seeks to provide the members with the necessary skills to examine services performance. The training workshop discusses also scientific basis to collect information. The institution's employees expressed that such workshops are improving their abilities in this field. Oman Electricity Transmission Company celebrated opening of its new premises in Al Mawalih area in the Wilayat of Sib, which came to meet the current needs and the company future expanding plans. The new building is located in an integrated area of the company facilities as well as stores and loads distribution center. The building included environmentally friendly technology aiming to reduce energy for lighting and air conditioning system, and it also provides safety and security. Within the framework of national campaign Start By Yourself, a seminar entitled Narcotics in Dhofar, Reality and Challenges, held in the Directorate General of Heritage and Culture in the Governorate of Dhofar. The campaign aimed to instill Islamic values and ethics, in addition to instill proficiency value, preserving gains of homeland respect for profession and self-censorship. The seminar concluded by a number of recommendations which concerned to the public interest. The Wilayat of Dukhum in the Governorate of Al-Wusta witnessed a number of developments and services projects which contributed in activating commercial and touristic activities. It also included Dukhum Special Economic Zone as well as government institutions which provided their service for the citizens. The Wilaya citizens expressed their happiness to have various government services such as Ministry of Manpower, Municipality, Royal Oman Police Station and hotels. The Directorate of Environment and Climate Affairs in the Governorate of Al-Buraimi concluded Environmental Envoy, which targeted a number of industrial establishments as plastic factories and vehicles maintenance workshops. The envoy seeks to introduce the importance of following protecting environment means in a group of brochures distributed for establishments. The one-way campaign covered all wilayas in the Governorate of Al-Buraimi and aimed to spread environmental awareness and the importance of contribution to preserve its natural resources. Now for the general weather forecast, clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the northern governorates of the Sultanate, with chances of scattered rainfalls, and generally clear over the rest of the governorates with chances of dust on the deserts. Winds will be north to northwesterly moderate to rough over the most areas of the Sultanate, while it will be northwesterly light to moderate along the coasts of the Sultanate. Seas will be moderate to rough along the coast of the Sultanate, with a maximum wave height of 2 meters and slight along the rest of the coast. This is Sultan of Oman Television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Said receives His Excellency the Mayor of Finance and Business District of London. In order to provide food security and diversify sources of income, the Minister of Housing signs 2 land utilization contracts for pisciculture. His Excellency the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth says poultry, eggs and dairy projects is worth more than 200 million Omani Riyals and will cover a great deal of the Sultan's needs. The State Council discusses the education strategy and emphasizes on the importance of improving teachers, their training and qualifications. And the Royal Air Force of Oman celebrates the graduation of a new batch of pilots, air officers and limited service officers. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, good night.